All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Hurley Investments Market View Commentary for Monday evening, the 25th of September. Just to let you know, a couple people have asked, Kevin, are you going to do the webinar on October 9th on Columbus Day? And the short answer is yes. So yes, on October 9th, Columbus Day is not a holiday for the markets. So the short answer is yes, I'm going to have and how important it is. Anyone know, if I was to ask you, how far is the market down for September? Anyone know? How far is the market down for September? I'll take general answers. Stuart, nice to see you. Maud, glad to have you here. Mary, glad you jumped in. 10%, Stuart? It might seem like it, but no. 8%? No. But I like where you guys are at for all of this. Kind of seems like it's like, holy crud. So the market is only down 4.12. So that's where the S&P 500 is, right? The NASDAQ I did not calculate, but the NASDAQ is probably down closer to looks about the same. So not too bad. And we're just counting for September. But we have had a couple things that have seemed like they've been going down significantly, right? So on Thursday, we talked how important is protection. And on Thursday, the market was down 1.12. And this is kind of helpful for all of you guys to help understand what returns might look like. On $1.5 million, we were down 24.93. And let's hope I did my math right, because I think I actually did it on a different number. But if we take 24.93 and divide it by $1.5 million, it actually came down to 0.0016. And we had Apple that was up slightly. Kind of neat to see, right? If I was to do some highlight, kind of neat to see with volatility, protection and the stock was up at the same time. Bank of America was down 630. We're making up 522 of it. Baidu was down 58. We were making up 3,900 of it. And the question was asked, how important is protection? So let's talk about it in regards to generalities, right? in general terms, how important is protection? I'll add that in after. How important is protection? No one's typing anything in. I'm not talking to myself, I hope. Or maybe you feel protection's not needed. Okay, here we go. Back to my question for you. How important is protection? And there are no right answers, but how important is protection? Yes, everyone good? Everyone good? All right, so we got it figured out. Sorry about that. Right now it sounds good. Yeah, sorry, Keith. Might have to mute you through your phone. Thank you. Okay, so here we go. Back to the question at hand. How important is protection? And I'm looking for your thoughts, your general ideas. Is protection more than just buying a put? Can it be a bear put strategy where a put is more of a short term? So I hear some very much now. So that's the question, right? I've seen everything from extremely important to what kind of protection are you talking about? And when it comes to protection, I would go ahead and I would tell you, hey, the easiest way I'd say it is when markets fall, they almost always fall faster than they go up, right? Which then makes the comment, you can use a bear strategy, but if I was to bring up Under Armour for you guys, even though I just shut it down, I was trying to figure out where that noise was coming from. We got it figured out. Let me bring up Under Armour. If we were to bring up Under Armour, which was down today because Foot Locker and one other one got downgraded. Foot Locker, and I can't remember who the other one was off the top of my head. But because someone else got downgraded, we have Under Armour, which is just tanking. It broke a pretty strong support at $7. So if you put a bear put on or a bear call on, you're apt to get your maximum profit, but you had it fall through a $7, a $6.99, a $6.77, a $6.97 level of support. So that's why we're not too often capping the downside, because we want to be able to protect you for as far down as the stock may go. We did a really good job in August. If you look at that big down day, earnings didn't make a whole lot of sense. Thank goodness we were protected. In fact, we did a really good job from the $9 mark down to $7.50 in May. And really good from the $8.50 to $7.50 mark, July to August, excuse me. So the question is, how important is protection? Or the other question is, do you want to gamble your positions in the market? Is it going to go up? Market odds, 1 out of 3. You lose money if it's sideways, down slightly, up slightly, down a lot, up a lot. Your true odds are more 1 in 5, where you've got a 20% return a 20% chance of making a return. That's why we've enjoyed adding protection. If you can, and I'm sorry that the screen froze, if you can, go back and listen to last Thursday's portfolio protection trade findings and adjustments. It's a good way to take a look at what's going on. Now understand, when you first put protection on, you might only make up 40 to 50%, roughly half of that downward movement. The more it goes down, the more you're going to make. Which means, of course, yes, at the start of adding protection, you're going to lose more money on the stock than the put can make up. Our goal over time is have that put make up 70 to 90% of the daily downward movement. That is the goal. And can anyone tell me, if we're able to make up 70 to 90% of the downward movement, what is the exponential return? Can anyone tell me? So it can be unlimited because the upside is unlimited. But what is the exponential upside? What do we do that helps you get 20, 30, 40% more to the upside? Buying more shares. There you go. The exponential return, that exponential return is equal to the percentage of more shares that we buy. If the stock drops, we're going to say 30%, and we add 20% more shares of stock, when everyone gets back to break even, right? When everyone gets back up to that 30% drop back to zero, you've got 20% more shares of stock. When everyone just waits in their stock and it bounces back up to that, makes up that 30%, right? You're 20% profitable. When the stock goes up to a 50% return, well, you've got 20% more that have also made that 50% return. If you work these numbers, it's very interesting. It's really pretty interesting, because if you have 120% times, right, times a 50% return, it's kind of neat how it works out. All I'm going to do is take a calculator, right? 1.2 times itself plus a 50% return. Everyone thinks, well, yeah, you're at 170, right? You're at 170% return. You gotta work the numbers. If you get 120% return, excuse me, if you have 120% more shares of stock and you get a 50% return, so you multiply it by itself plus the 50% return, you're actually at an 80% gain, not a 70% gain. You've got to work through some of these numbers to see some real returns. And what makes that exponential return is the fact that we protect it. That is where you're going to see that opportunity. A couple comments were made. Will the gains pay for the protection in the long run? Not only do they pay for protection, but they pay for more shares of stock. And that's where your profit or your gains come from. Another question was just asked. So when you double up on puts, do you want them to double up on the shares to buy? No. Sometimes when we double up on puts, all we're trying to do, that's a great question. When we double up on puts, we just want to make more than the stock is losing. Because it takes a while. You need the stock to fall down quite a bit before those puts will start to make, in theory, almost penny for penny. They don't quite exactly do that, but if we see a big support level that breaks, then we double up on puts, so we're going to make more than the stock is losing on the way down. That doesn't mean that we double up on the shares to buy, but it does make us more money to buy more shares when it looks like it's hit at a support level. But the big push is if we're going to double up on puts, you've just had a stock that's broken to the downside, and we want to take advantage of making up more money than the stock is losing. And you saw that, what, last year with Baidu from 350 down to 200. I guess it's down to 250. We did amazing. That first $100 down, we made up like $14 more than the stock dropped. From 250 to 200, we didn't do so well. From that $50 drop, we only made like $11 or $13. I can't remember. But it's pretty neat for a stock to lose $100 and to be able to make $14 more than the stock lost. Which is really interesting because something to take notice of, if I can go ahead and put that back in here. Boy, I really don't like my computer today. Hopefully this won't make a problem, which really is something to remember. I kind of giggle because someone asked me recently, hey, am I down $175,000? And it's like, well, how much do you put in your portfolio? Oh, you know, $1.2 million. What is it worth? Oh, $1.5 million. So how is our total gain down by $75,000? Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense. You should be up 20. Do they have something wrong? And no, they do not have something wrong. What they have is for these positions, it shows them down $75,000. Probably because Baidu at one point in time, some shares may have been purchased at 200. And if you have 2,200 shares, they're going to show like an $80 loss. Well, don't forget they went from 200 up to 350 and then 350 back down. These Baidu shares are probably 100% paid for. If we made up $114 on the way down from 280 to 350 to 250, it doesn't show the profits that have already been made. And because it doesn't show those profits, it just is going from where your stock positions are. It might look a little different. It might look really different. So that's just something to remember. All right, here we go. What is wrong with my computer? Well, this is not working the way I thought it was going to today. Which is weird because I've got so much more to show you here. So, short answer. We're probably still dealing with, for the rest of this week, we are probably still dealing with the AUW strike and a possible government shutdown. Republicans are holding out. Hey, we need to be smart. We can't let a government pass without a balanced budget. Blah 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 blah. It's just kind of getting ridiculous. It's kind of getting ridiculous, and we're seeing more and more problems happening. Boy, why is that not working? We are having more and more problems with our government not choosing to, I don't know, not choosing to work together. We are probably going to have some type of resolution, but we will probably go through some type of government stoppage. It's just the way that it's going to be. And they can't figure out a better way to do it. And I can't figure out how to get my computer screen going. So really quickly for this week, we got durable goods on Wednesday. We have GDP numbers on Thursday. We have personal income and personal spending on Friday. Those will be the numbers that'll move our markets on top of news. The automakers union will be a huge one. It looks like Ford is somewhat being spared. And you'll start hearing government shutdown for not getting a balanced budget passed. And the state of Utah is already preparing for some issues. We've got Costco that reports tomorrow after the market closes. We have Micron Wednesday after the market closes. Those will be our earnings coming up. We've already taken 36 minutes today as we were dealing with the sound for whatever reason we had. Let me go. Any questions you guys have that I can answer for you for this week? I have more to show you. I don't know why I'm having a problem with it right now, but I will work on getting this out to you so you guys can be able to see it. And I always have it posted at myhurleyinvestment.com. So you can pick up the notes at myhurleyinvestment.com. Any questions for me today? I do have some pretty interesting news articles. Yes, for whatever reason, I'm just not able to show it to you. There's something going on with a lag time or GoToWebinar. I mean, if you look on the right here, I've got all kinds of stuff written down here that's just not showing up on what you guys are seeing. So I'm really not sure what's going on today. And yes, I am plugged in. Do you think Under Armour will ever come back? Yes, they're making money. They're making more money on a percentage basis than Nike. If we didn't think they were going to come back, we would no longer be in them. So, yes, and don't forget they were up at 27 not too long ago. I don't know how not too long ago is, but don't forget they were up at 27 the end of 2022. So it's not too long ago they were at 26, 27. Kind of a typical head and shoulders pattern, right? But yes, do we think they're going to come back? Of course we do. Otherwise, we would no longer be in them, and fundamentally, they should be doing pretty good. Christmas, yeah, I mean, that's typically when Under Armour has a nice run. If you take a peek, it's October through January. 100% return right there. 300% return right there. Last year, though, October, it went down like there was no tomorrow. Thank goodness we used puts. So, yes, thank goodness we have puts that are there. All right, what was that other question? So not sure why they're still down the dumps. Maud, they're just sometimes, even with good earnings, they're not going to gain the favor of the market. If you were to ask me, I don't want to say they run sweatshops, but please don't think that Nike doesn't run sweatshops out of Brazil. In all honesty, Under Armour runs a lot of their stuff out of China or Asia. And when I say Asia, South Korea, but South Korea and Asia pull on their materials from North Korea and so forth. So the short answer is there are some stocks that are just not in favor, even though they're really good stocks. So it's just, if I could predict the future, I would do a better job for you. I don't predict the future very well, though. Any other questions you guys have? If not, I appreciate you guys being with us. I will post this at My Hurley Investment. I've got a couple good and interesting articles, one on treasury bills, one on what if Apple were to buy Disney. For whatever reason, had some issues today. Don't know what the issue is, but having some issues. All right, hey guys, appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you guys on our Thursday trade findings and adjustments, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next Monday. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.